Many already know who the first emperor of China, namely Qin Shi Huangdi. He is the founder of the Qin dynasty, who lived about 200 years BC. After that, for more than 2,000 years, successive dynasties, from Qin, Han, Sui, Tang, Song, Yuan, Ming, up to Qing. Hundreds of emperors reigned in the palace. So who was the last emperor of China? Puyi, the 12th emperor of the Qing dynasty, was the last and closing of the Chinese Empire. The story is very interesting. The emperor, who was appointed at the age of 2 years, then became abundantly rich, and ended tragically becoming a gardener. Puyi was born to the descendants of the Isanzhou clan, ruler of the Qin dynasty, in February 1906. Puyi was not the son of the previous emperor, the Qiangsu emperor, but the eldest son of Zaifeng, or Prince Chun, the emperor's half-brother. Emperor Qiangsu had no children. He died in 1908 at the age of 33, from being poisoned by arsenic. Empress Dowager Cixi, consort of the late Emperor Xuanfeng, appointed and crowned Puyi, the nephew of Emperor Qiangsu, to the throne at the age of 2 years and 10 months with the title Emperor Xuan Tong. Puyi, who is still a toddler, does not understand what is going on. He can only cry and become hysterical when he is forcibly picked up at his father's house by several imperial eunuchs to be crowned as king. One day later, Empress Dowager Cixi passed away. Because Puyi, or Emperor Xuantong, was still child, government affairs were managed by Empress Long Yu, the wife of Emperor Qiangsu. His father, Zaifeng, became Puyi's co-regent with General Yuan Shikai. While in the palace, Puyi's life was full of luxury and pampered. This resulted in his poor personality. He became arbitrary to his subordinates. At the age of 5 years, he often ordered his guards to beat eunuchs for minor offenses. The imperial period of Emperor Xuantong, or Puyi, only lasted 3 years, from 1908 to 1912. This was because the Empress Dowager Long Yu issued an imperial decree regarding the abdication of the Qing emperor, in favor of the Qin High Revolution, on the 12th of February 1912. This revolution resulted in a change in the Chinese government system, from a monarchy or empire to a republic. This decree arose as a result of pressure, threats, intrigue in the palace of the eunuchs and the influence of the General Yuan Shikai. Since then, Puyi, who was 5 years old at that time, had no more power as emperor and at the same time ended 2,133 years of dynastic history in China. Supported by the General Jiang Sun, Puyi was recrowned as the Qing emperor, and lasted only 12 days. A bomb exploded in the palace of the Forbidden City. Generals loyal to the Republic forced Puyi to abdicate, and he was expelled from the Forbidden City by General Feng Xiang. Puyi returned to his childhood home, then he secretly lived in Tianjin, the Japanese territory. From 1934 to 1945, Puyi was appointed Emperor of Manchukuo and became a puppet of Japan. His life was limited and regulated by the Japanese, including being forced to believe in Shintoism. Puyi was incompetent to run the government in Manchuria. He continued to live a luxurious life like a king, while the people were very miserable. He was also unable to overcome the Manchurida gangs from China, Japan, Korea or Russia who were feuding with each other. And all this resulted in the misery of the Manchurian people. In 1945, Japan lost the war in World War II. Puyi was captured by the Red Army, and made a prisoner of the Soviet Union, on the 16th of August, 1945 for 5 years. Puyi asked the Soviet Union for asylum, so as not to be repatriated to China. But it was rejected by Stalin, as President of the Soviet Union. In 1949, he was repatriated to China, during the reign of Mao Zedong, the China Communist Party. Puyi was pardoned from the death penalty by Mao in 1959. While he was in Beijing, he was assigned as a street sweeper and once got lost on the road. After that, Puyi spent 10 years at the Fushun War Crime Management Center in Liaoning Province. He was forced to become a true communist and renounce all titles and the feudal mentality of the palace. He later worked as an editor in the literacy department of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference. President Mao specifically provided Puyi with a place to live and work at the Beijing Botanical Gardens. Working as a simple gardener gave Puyi a happiness he had never known when he was emperor. Towards the end of his life, Puyi married Li Xuxian, a hospital nurse, on the 30th of April, 1962. In 1996, the Cultural Revolution began, and Puyi was accused of being anti-revolutionary. He felt shaken and his health deteriorated. A book he wrote and recounted his life journey from an emperor to an ordinary citizen, published in 1964, was deemed inappropriate by the government. This book is burned and distribution is prohibited. Mao's Red Guards carried out the extermination of those who were considered the remaining Qing dynasty clans. Fortunately, Zhou and Lei protected him and placed him under the protection of the local Public Security Bureau. Puyi died at the age of 61 years. In October 1967, due to kidney and heart cancer, his body was cremated and his ashes buried in the Babashan Revolution Cemetery. That's the end of the story of the last emperor of China, Puyi. Hope you like it. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to Shonia Studio channel.